You know, serving in public office, we love to do it. I know Rob loves it, has a passion more than anyone else for public service. But you know, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to do. The pay isn't necessarily great. And if you do the job right, like I know Rob does, you're out a lot. You're out early in the morning, you're out late at night, you do things on weekends, you get calls at your house all the time. So you really have to have a partner to really make that work. And Michelle Consalvo. Let me tell you, Rob's greatest campaign prop is Michelle Consalvo. Mother of 3 kids, worked at the YMCA for over 20 years. Let's hear a round of applause. Is going to be the next First Lady in the city of Austin.
Thank you for that kind introduction, Anthony. You have always been a great friend to the Consalvo family, and for that I am forever grateful. What an exciting night for the Consalvo family and for the entire city of Boston. Tonight I have the privilege to introduce to you a man that I met 17 years ago. At the time, he was an aide to Representative Angelo Sciascia, and I was working as a child care director at the local YMCA. He had just moved back from DC and fully immersed himself into his old neighborhood, working out at the Y, coaching Little League, and joining many local boards. When we met, I knew that there was something that set him apart, something special. Not only was he an incredible cook, a great dancer, slightly obsessed with Xavier basketball, but I've chosen to overlook that because what struck me the most about him was his desire to help people. Whether in his role as an aide to a state representative, to a United States senator, as a coach, a neighbor, or a friend, his passion has always been apparent. It didn't matter what he was doing, how big or small the issue was. If someone asked for help, he was the one people would call. There were many occasions when we were dating that I would receive a phone call from Rob saying he was running late because someone called the office and he just couldn't leave. He had to make a few more calls before he could go home. The funny thing was, most times it didn't bother me because I knew what he was doing was important and that he was doing what he loved. For the last 11 years as the District 5 City Councilor, he has truly been dedicated to making Boston better. A better place to work, live, and raise a family. Some things have changed over the past few years. We have 3 amazing children, Amanda, Anthony, and Austin, who absolutely adore their dad. And Rob has had to learn to balance his role as husband, father, and counselor. One thing that has not changed is how hard he works day in and day out. I can honestly say his passion for public service has only gotten stronger. When somebody knocks on the door, stops him at the grocery store, or approaches him at the park, he welcomes the opportunity to listen, learn, and try to help. I can tell you firsthand, as we were driving to the hospital to have Austin in December of 2009, we were driving past the Grew School during school vacation. He said, "Let me call that in." He noticed some graffiti on the side of the school. He said, "Let me call that in before I forget." He was on the phone and I could tell that the person on the other end was a little shocked because he was making small talk, talking about school vacation and what was going on, and he said, "Well, we're on our way to have our baby, but I just wanted you to know that he needs to be removed." So he's never at a loss for helping and making sure that things are better in our city.
Yeah.
He is a great role model for our children, and they are very proud of him. His role as an elected official is a big part of our life. We are blessed to consider the residents of District 5 and many residents from across the city our extended family. When we first started talking to the kids about Rob's decision, or our decision as a family to run for mayor, Amanda looked over to me and said, "Wait a minute, does that mean Daddy will get to decide when school closes because of snow?" Then yes. This is the man I married, the father of my 3 children, and the next mayor of the city of Boston.